All right, so obviously our class today with Kyra is going to be 100% prenatal friendly, but I didn't want to just make it a prenatal friendly class because there's lots of ways we can make our class prenatal friendly by just chucking a prop on. What I want to do today is make this class completely prenatal inclusive, right? So your prenatal client doesn't feel like they've just been chucked in the corner and chucked extra props to do the things that everybody else is able to do. I want Kyra to feel like she can stay up with everybody else. She can do all the same things and maybe just move at a slower pace if she needs to. So really easy to modify. This class is really suitable for any beginners as well. So a great class to pull out whenever you have a prenatal person just show up out of the blue. You can just pull it out of your bag and get teaching. So remembering all of our prenatal guidelines, guys, some of you maybe are not at that level in the course yet when you know them, so we'll just run over them really quickly. So from 16 weeks, we don't want to have any supine, so no laying flat, so we're not going to be doing any of that. Now, what I could have done was grab a jump board and popped it on the reformer so Kyra was propped up. But quite often that's not available in studios. So quite often a jump board maybe isn't quite the right size, or it supports most of the body but not the head, or it's a little bit unstable. So you don't want to rely on that as your go-to for your prenatal client when they come to a reformer session. So we're doing no supine today. We also have to be mindful of risk of falling. Remembering that high kneeling arm work, so anything when you're kneeling up on your knees on the carriage with the straps in your hand is a risk of falling, right? So if there's nowhere to put your hands, where do you go? So you're gonna land face first. So that is a risk of falling because we don't want Kyra to fall on her beautiful little bubby in there. Sorry about my cat, there she goes again on cue. We also want to make sure there's no isometric hold, so we're moving and flowing through our movement today. We're not holding anything and concentrating there where there can be a possibility of a faint. We want to make sure Kyra is cool and hydrated, which I've done my best. She has a glass of water right here. The windows are all open, fans will go on if needed. And then, as I discussed earlier, I want to make sure that she's feeling completely comfortable at all time, which isn't easy, right? There's feet jammed up into rib cages, so she's already not comfortable. So I want to do my best so that she's feeling as comfortable as possible on the reformer in my class. All right, so we're going to get this inclusive workout going on. The extra thing I like to do if I've got a prenatal client coming to class is just to check in on them every once in a while. How's that spring feeling for you? Just like you would for any beginner, just check in them, not sort of check in and see, are you okay? But just, you know, is the spring feeling good for you? How you doing? Give them a smile, give them a thumbs up, that type of thing. So, yeah, you're going to see Kyra, you know, her moving from one setup to the next setup is probably going to be a little bit slower than some people. Just, you know, you've all seen pregnant people moving around. It's a little bit more laboured than normal. So that's to be expected. So, you know, you might need to keep the class going and then just give them a bit of time or just preempt what's coming up next. So today for the workout, if you're participating with us, you're going to need your box. So grab your box. If you don't have a box, that's okay. You can do the class without the box. The box is for Kyra's comfort mostly, but for some of the movements it is helpful, but you will be able to do it all on the carriage if you don't have one. If you have an at-home reformer setup, you're going to need your bands, your sliders, and your fit ball. Something that I'm going to do for Kyra straight away is to move the stopper out. Moving the stopper out, remember, moves the carriage out further, which is going to give her more space to navigate in amongst the springs. So let's get started. We're going to do a favourite of all prenatal clients to start with, which is mermaid. So pop on one heavy spring and let's begin. All right, so just moving that stopper out. And yeah, Kyra, come and have a seat in your mermaid position. My dog's a little bit obsessed with Kyra, so excuse, come over here. All right, so one hand on the bar, that's it. And then you're just gonna bend over to the side, Kyra, and go into your side bend. Beautiful. So just taking some time to open up the side of the body here, which feels pretty good, right?
It does.
Yay. Nice, just heading from side to side. Take your time, everybody. Allow your body to open up this morning. Beautiful. And now if Kyra wasn't comfortable sitting in this mermaid position, there's no reason why she couldn't do this with her legs crossed as well. I have clients sometimes that aren't able to sit in this zigzag shape, and yeah, sitting cross-legged works pretty well as well for mermaid. All right, nicely done. Let's keep this going. You've just got another 2 to each side. Very nice. That's it, everybody. Looking good. One more to each side. Lovely. Okay. So we've opened up the side body a little bit now, and we're going to come down to some side lying work. So on this reformer, the headrest coming all the way up is a great prop to use for the head. You may need to grab a small prop to go under your head, or you could use your arm as well. So just coming down to lay on your side, Kyra. Bottom knee is going to be tucked up on the carriage, and your top foot is going to be coming up onto the foot bar here. So we're just going to start with our foot in a parallel position, pressing out and pulling in. So we're staying in this one heavy spring, which for some of you may feel a little bit light. You are more than welcome to step the spring settings up today if they're feeling like they're a little bit too beginner for you. Remembering that Kyra's not really wanting to get herself flogged today. She just wants to move. She just wants to get her body feeling good and feeling like she's done some movement. Would you like a heavier spring setting there, Kyra?
No, that's fine.
It feels good. There we go. See? All right, so let's just keep this going. You've got another 3 and 2. Good. Last one, we'll add those pulses in. So come in halfway, Kyra, and let's just do some small range pulses here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, press all the way out. Very nice, and then bring it in. Nicely done. All right, you're going to leave your leg in parallel, but now I'm going to get you to move your toes so you're on your tippy toes. That's it. Go ahead and press away there. Nice. That's it. Keep that going nice and smooth. So it's a more challenging movement here once you move up onto your toes. So just maybe moving a little slower if you need to, and keeping track of reps as well, I think, is really important in beginner classes. So often your beginners are like, come on, like we've done 15, 20. How many have you done, Kyra?
7.
There we go. See, she's counting. You've just got 2 more. And then we'll bring it in for those little pulses here. So let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, reach it out. Excellent. Bring that back in again. Well done, Kyra. Okay, so we're going to go on to heel now. So we're going to pop the heel on. Yeah, that's it. Toes and knees are pointing up towards the ceiling. And then big strong press out through the heel. That's it. I'm interested to hear from all of you that are participating afterwards to see how you felt during this workout. So if it felt like an actual workout, or if it just felt like something that, was maybe not challenging enough for you, and how maybe you could have stepped it up a little bit during the workout with springs, or maybe doing more reps, things like that. Or if you felt like, yeah, it was a pretty good workout actually. Kyra's pretty strong. All right, let's do 2 more here. That's it. And we'll finish it up with those pulses. So little pulses here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and reach it long. Excellent. Come back in, Kyra, and I'm going to get you to go back on your toes there to finish. This time toes are on the bar, but no, I want your knee up. Yeah, knee up, heel down. That's it. We're going to do a little bit of a tendon stretch variation here with this one leg side lying. So you're going to press the carriage away, do one heel dip, come back up onto your tippy toes and bend to come back in. That's it. Press away, dip, lift, and pull it back in. That's it. Just getting a little bit of extra leg work in there. So we're not just doing the same movements over and over again through the leg here. That's it. It's nice to add some extra little variations in there for your own sanity. All right, we've got another 3 here. Looking really good. Come in and check on you all. That's it. Nice job, guys. All right, finish off that last one. Excellent. All right, so I'm going to get you to come on up, Kyra, now. And we're going to balance that out on the other side. So you're going to turn around, face away from us, and get into your, oh, hang on, mermaid first. Ooh. Yeah, so it's nice to, I think I've already told you guys before, I love to do a bit of a stretch between my side lying, just because it gets a bit crampy laying down on your side. Nice to stretch it out between. So let's go into those mermaids here, just bending over from side to side. And the noise is gone. That's it. Good, so stretch it all out before we come to the other side. So what we've got coming up soon, we'll be putting the box on in a short box position. So if any of you did join in late, we will be using the box after we finish up doing our side lying leg work. Side sleeper. That's it. And how that spring, how did that feel for you towards the end of the end of that little sequence there, Kyra? That was enough? She said hard. So that was enough. So it's really easy to overdo the reps as well when something looks simple and basic, but often those simple basic movements are the most challenging, right? They're the ones that just get you straight away. So be mindful of that. There's always someone in the class though that will just stop and you'll go, oh, I've gone too far. You know, they're holding out to the end to stop. All right, one more to each side. Stretch it out. Big push away. Excellent. And then over towards your headrest. Lovely. Okay, so now we're coming to lay sideways again. So you'll be facing away from us. And get yourself comfy on the carriage. If any of you out there are wanting to, like, you know, get into Kyra's skin a little bit, maybe you grab a pillow and shove it up your shirt and just see how this feels semi-pregnant. It's not really the same, but you know. All right, so we're starting with the parallel leg. So your foot is running sideways down the foot bar and you're going to press the carriage away, pushing through your whole foot and then bend the knee to come in. So on this side sleeper position, you can totally scoot your bottom all the way to the back of the carriage, which is a pretty good position to get into. So you can do that, or you can be running down the middle of the carriage. Now, depending where your body is positioned, the length of your legs, all those types of things will depend on if you need to get your foot further forward. Some people are unable to get their heel flat on the bar unless their toes are hanging off the front edge of the foot bar. So that's something to consider. If you're wanting everyone to do the same thing, you might need to give some little extra pointers there on getting that foot flat. Looking good. Okay, let's go for another 3. That's it. And 2. Good. Last press out, then come back to halfway. Let's add in those little pulses. Small range pulses up and down. That's it. Good. Nice. Oh, it's getting warm. Let's go for another 4, 3, 2, and 1. Press all the way out. Nice. Bring that carriage in. And now we're going to go onto our toes. So staying in parallel. So you're just going to move your foot down, pushing through the ball of your foot as you go out and come in. That's it. So it's only 7 a.m. on the Gold Coast here, but it is pretty warm. So I am definitely keeping track of the temperature here. As you know, cool and hydrated is one of the things we need to be mindful of for our prenatal clients. So fans will go on soon if Kyra needs them. I'm feeling warm and I'm not doing anything. All right, let's add those pulses in now. Come back in, let's pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, big press out. That's the tricky bit, right? Getting that last press in. Good, and then bring it all the way back in. Nice. All right, so let's go into the heel now in some external rotation of the hip. So opening the hip up. Good, knee and toes facing up to the ceiling as you bend back in. Beautiful. All right, keeping this nice and smooth. Just gonna come in and see how you're all doing. Looking good, guys. That's it. How are those springs feeling for you all? Can I get a little thumbs up if you're starting to feel some things? Yeah, awesome. So you don't need a lot, right? All right, let's get those pulses going. So pull it into halfway and let's pulse it out. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and that big press out to finish. Great. Bring it back in. And now we'll do our little tendon stretch to finish. So toes back on the bar. You're going to press away, dip the heel under the bar, come back up, pull the carriage in. So one little calf raise under the bar as you go. And obviously you could build this up, you could do a whole bunch of extra movements there as well, building up to a count of 10, building down from 10, that type of thing. But we're just keeping it nice and simple this morning. Looking good, everybody. All right, just another 2 of these. Nice job, Kyra. Finishing up. Excellent job, bringing the carriage all the way back in. Nice job. Take your time coming up. There we go. Give yourself a little twist there if you want to, just stretch that out a little bit. And now is the time to get your boxes, guys. So go ahead and grab your box. Now you can imagine we could have done a whole bunch of more variations in that position just then. We could have done something where we grab the strap and pop the strap above the knee or on the foot. We could have also done some arm work with the strap, but I didn't want to keep Kyra there for too long. So just for comfort, let's put the box on short box, and it's just going to go in front of the shoulder pads. I did try this with the box over the shoulder pads if that's possible for you on your reformer. But what I found was when you weight bearing on it, it can be a little unstable. That's on this reformer. So you may have a different kind of setup, and it might give you more space to have this over the shoulder pads. So just see what's going on there. Now remember, I moved the stopper out, and that was predominantly for the last one where Kyra could have felt very squishy getting in and out of that setup with the foot up on the bar, and also for this next little sequence with this box on. So what I'm going to get you to do, Kyra, is I'm going to get you to start sitting on the box. You're going to be facing the foot bar. So we're doing a little bit of front rowing. I'm going to pass the straps, and if you need to modify at any time, feel free to grab the long loops. Yeah. I'm going to change the spring resistance all the way down to a half spring now. Now, depending on your carriage, a half spring could be super light and just not feel like a whole lot of anything, or it could feel like a decent amount of resistance. On this reformer, half spring's got a decent amount of resistance. It's a little bit heavier than the one I'm used to. So just feel how this feels. We are going to be doing some single arms as well as double, so that will change it up a bit, right? So just making sure you've got enough springs on for both of those variations. Going to start here, Kyra, by just holding the straps. And I want you to just sort of flip the palms to face down and grip those straps in a fist. Yep. And then you're just going to punch forward towards your foot bar. That's it. And then bend those elbows back in. How's that spring feeling for you?
Good.
Great. That's it. So it's a little bit of a row, bit of a punch. You could let your elbows come right back behind you there to open up the chest. Feel a little bit of extension, which might feel quite nice, before you punch forward again. Nice. And it probably feels quite light on the half spring at the moment, does it?
Yeah.
Feels okay, not too bad. Yeah. You can imagine that singles will get a little bit heavier though. All right, so keep this going. Looking good, guys. That's it. Awesome. All right, so let's go for the singles now. So what I'm going to get you to do, Kyra, is we're just going to go one single, bring it in, the other arm single, bring it in, and then go for a double just to kind of wash it out. All right, so we go single, single, and then double. And what this is going to do is it's going to mean that Kyra's not working extra hard the whole time. The double's kind of a little bit of a break.
Yeah, the double's nice.
The double feels good. That's it. Whereas the single's a little bit extra work. Yeah, nice. Single, single, doubles. So keeping that going there. You've just got another 2 of these. That's it, looking good. Spring still feeling okay?
Mm-hmm.
Great. Awesome job, guys, that's it, looking great. All right, now you've finished the single, single, double. Finish up that little set. Excellent. We're gonna go into some arm circles. So palms facing up now. You're gonna reach your arms forward and then just pick the straps up and circle around. That's it. Good. Nice. And while we are still on that half spring, which is a really good choice for this arm circles, it's important to keep in mind too that Kyra is on a box. You guys are mostly on a box as well, which will make the half spring a little heavier. Remember, when you're further away from the pulleys, you're looking at more load. So at the moment, Kyra is up on a box, which is increasing that load. So it will I will take into consideration this when I do my reps, and that's why Kyra is just doing another 2. How does that sound? Perfect. Great. That's it. And your last big circle, up and around. Fabulous. Let me grab those straps, and those long loops look like they were nice and handy as well. Alrighty, so what I'm going to get you to do now, Kyra, is just come onto the side. You're going to just step off and then kneel in this little space. So the little space that's left for you with the box there is not a lot. So just kneel in there. If you don't have that box, just kneel sort of midway down your carriage, and that should be okay. That should be perfect. Now, you may notice as well here with this foot bar, I've actually got it one down from the top. So this is the top setting. Just felt like this is a little bit squishy. So I've moved it down one space just to give Kyra a little bit more space. Now you're gonna pop your hand on the box as your support to get your foot up onto the bar. That's it. Now Kyra and I have already had a conversation about inner thighs, and at her level in her pregnancy, it's not feeling amazing to do light springs in her thighs. Like I said before, this half spring is quite heavy. It feels almost like 3/4, I would say, on the carriage she's used to at my studio. So keep things like that in mind as well. It's not always going to feel amazing to do things that are challenging through that area for your pregnant clients. All right, but this spring's quite supportive and Kyra's just gonna manage her range. So you're just gonna push through the ball of your foot and press the carriage away. That's it. And then pull the carriage back in. Good. How does that spring feel? Good. Is it okay? Yeah. Would you like any more load?
No, that's fine.
Okay, great. Awesome. Now you can imagine here Kyra could do this quite easily on her forearm as well if her wrist was feeling a little bit swelly and gross. But we're actually going to come off the forearm, off onto the forearm pretty shortly anyway. All right, so you can imagine you could do all of your pulses, you could do a whole bunch of different variations here where you push out with the bottom leg as well to get that extra bit of range if you're going for a full stretch. We're not going to do that today, but it's an option if any of you out there want to give that a go. So pushing out with your carriage leg to go out into your deepest kind of splits as you go out. You can also come up here and pop your hands behind your head, remembering that that would be a falls risk for Kyra, so she's not going to do that, but it is an option you could give if you were teaching an all levels class and you were teaching this variation. All right, so it's coming time now for us to come into this big old side bend. So Kyra, when you press away, allow your forearm to come down onto the box. Yep, and then stretch your top arm over like you're doing a mermaid stretch. Good, then as you come in, you're just kind of floating back up to that start position. That's it. So big press out, forearm comes down, big side bend out to the side. Good. And then bring it up as you come in. So this can be quite flowy. Kyra's gonna move quite slowly. Obviously she's working harder than all of you guys out there if you're not pregnant. So it's something to keep in mind. Your pregnant person is definitely working harder. Everything is harder. Your heart rate's higher, your body temperature is higher, and everything just kind of slows down a little bit. So keeping reps to not the maximum and keeping movements as simple as possible is going to be ideal. Excellent. Kyra, you've just got one more. Everybody out there, keep that flowing for the last one. Excellent job. Then you're going to bring that carriage in. Fabulous. Now, you can take your foot down, and then what we're going to be doing is turning to face the box. That's it. So kneeling, forward facing, move your knees towards the back of the carriage. Kyra's just naturally doing it. She's so, we haven't actually run through this class before she's done it. She's just really good at knowing what to do. So now Kyra, you're going to be using that same leg you used before. So the one that was just pushing, which, yep, perfect. Yeah. You're like, yeah, I can feel it. Don't doubt me. And then I'll get you to come down on your forearms, which will be a nice break getting off those wrists. Okay, so yeah, that's it. So you're just going to press away and pull that knee back in down to the carriage. That's it. How's that spring feeling for you?
Yeah, good.
Great. So remember guys, we're still on that half spring. I'm not sure if you've popped your spring setting up. Your carriage, it might feel better on about 3/4 compared to this one, but just feel into it and you'll see there's a slow build. And we've been doing a few movements using the single leg, so you've probably noticed it just kind of builds up to the point where you can just feel the energy throughout. Looking really good. Keep this going, Kyra. You have another 4. That's it. So now if you don't have a box, you'll just be doing this with your hands on the carriage, right? So 4-point kneeling, hands can be up on shoulder pads, hands can be flat on the carriage, whatever's going to work best for you. Yeah, looking good, everybody. So what you're aiming to do in this particular movement is to get your knees to match up. So when you bend the knee in, it matches up the knee that's kneeling on the carriage. Yeah, so you pull it right in. All right, now we can press away now. So let's press all the way out and let's go into our little tendon stretch here. So we're flexing and pointing the foot. Yeah, which I found is a really challenging challenging for a lot of people to get the first time. I notice a lot of people bend into that supporting knee in this movement. So it can be one that you've just got to hang in there with people and just keep cueing to keep the knee straight and just work through the foot and ankle. Looking really good, everyone. You've got another 3 here. That's it. 2 and 1. All right, now let's bend the knee. Come in halfway. Hold it there, Kyra. Let's do some pulses here. So little pulses here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and press all the way out. Awesome job. Bring that carriage in, and then I'm going to get you all to just come up off the carriage there. So if I was teaching this in a more general class, I'd probably would just get you to stay there, go to the other side and work it in reverse. But I want to get Kyra up off her forearms because she was resting there for a little while. So we're going to go back to the start, which was side kneeling on that little gap, facing away, before we come back to that shape again. So kneeling in the little gap, popping the toes up onto the foot bar, hand resting on the box. So you guys will be facing away. Once you're there, nice press out, straightening all the way out through that top leg. That's it. Nicely done. Good. There's something to be said as well when you're teaching a class like this with the tone of your voice, just making sure that, you know, you're not too hype. Your prenatal client doesn't really want hype. So just keeping the tone of voice quite relaxed and flowy and just allowing them to move. Maybe talking, you know, nice peaceful thoughts. If you're cueing, using the cues that are appropriate as well for this type of class. So we're just going to do one more here. That's it. And then we're going to come into the side bend. So remember here, you're going to press away, allow your forearm to fall down onto the box, reaching your top arm over, finding a big side bend. That's it. Bring it in and come on up. So that's a little bit challenging, isn't it, for you, Kyra, to just lift back up? She's saying, yes, getting up is hard. Nice. Good. So that's kind of Kyra's only abdominal workout we're going to do today is in this little section here, I would say. They're obviously working passively all the time. But at this point in Kyra's pregnancy, crunches are just not feeling comfortable. And obviously we'd have to prop and that type of thing. So there's lots of other things we can do instead. And it's really handy if you're going to be writing a class for prenatal people to have a prenatal person to try it out on. So Kyra's my guinea pig. We'll find out afterwards if anything felt not amazing and she can give us her feedback. Keeping in mind that all prenatal clients are different. This is your last one. Excellent. Bring it in. So you can step down, Kyra, just to get off that knee for a moment. And then we've got those donkey pushes there behind us now to finish up. So coming back onto knees. Knees are to the end of the carriage, forearms resting on the box, and then toe up on the bar, press it out. She's ready to go. That's it. So now you guys might have a little bit more range than Kyra. Remember, I moved the stopper out for her just for ease. So on this particular movement, when the carriage comes all the way in, it's easy to get very squishy. And obviously she's got some thing that she needs to give a little bit of space there. So it can be something that you would consider for someone that's quite tall as well. Just giving them that extra bit of space. Looking good out there. Nice. Keep this going. Great job, guys. All right, let's go into that tendon stretch. So press out and hold, keep the legs straight. Dip the heel, push up to the tippy toes. Dip and push. That's it. So we've done calves 2 ways today. This way I feel is like a really nice stretch, gets right into that stretch. Yeah, you enjoying that one? Good. All right, keep it going for another 3. That's it. And 2. This is your last one, and then we're going to bend the knee, come back in halfway, hold it there for those pulses to finish out here. So let's go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and press it all the way long. Excellent. Bring that carriage in. That's it. Just come on up now, Kyra. We're going to actually be doing some back rowing. And it's only called back rowing because we're holding the straps facing this way. So what I'm going to get you to do is just to come around the front here. You can step into the well and then sit back onto the box with your feet on the headrest. So now again, if you don't have a box, you can totally do this sitting on your carriage. You can do this high kneeling, low kneeling, just keeping in mind that the box is here for Kyra's comfort in this instance. So you can see how we can use it in a bunch of different ways so that it makes sense. But predominantly I wanted the box on here for the 2 arm sequences, front and back rowing, so that she's comfortable, because yeah, it's not always comfy. Pregnancy is not comfortable at all. So because the box is short box, we may need to think about our range a little bit. So what I'm going to get Kyra to do, and you may need to do it as well, is to hold up high on the ropes, on the straps. Yeah, just squeeze it in a little fist. Yeah, that's probably not as comfortable as that. Yeah. So some straps have a little D-rings you can pop peace fingers through and hold on that way, but sometimes it's not comfortable. You might just be able to squeeze up high by the buckles. You may need to hold on to the ropes, but I often find holding the ropes isn't very comfortable either. So just do what works best for you. What Kyra's going to start with, and you're all going to start with, is just a chest expansion movement. So nice and simple, pulling the straps back, hold it there, check your traffic. So head going side to side on the next one. That's it. That's it. Nice. Remember, chest expansion is a back bend, essentially. So as you pull the straps back, open your chest, find that little back bend, and then release your straps in front of you. So we are still on our half spring. So for some of you, you may feel like this is a walk in the park. Remember, you can hold up higher on your ropes to add that extra tension. We are going to be doing some single arm versions again in this back rowing setup. So keep that in mind when you are choosing your springs. Really nice job. Now Kyra knows this exercise. I'm feeling like I don't need to cue anything, but remembering you're pushing the straps back behind you, you're holding them there as you check traffic, as you move your head from side to side. So the further back you can press your straps, the better this exercise is. And by better, I mean more effective, more work. Yep. And how's the half spring feeling? Is it
heavy? It
feels pretty heavy, yeah. Once you sort of get in there and do a few, remember Kyra's working harder than you guys are. She's stronger than you'll ever be. Kidding. Right now, carrying a baby. You don't feel strong, do you? All right, let's do 2 more here in our chest expansion. Excellent. Okay, so now we're going to change it up and do some bicep curls. So you're going to hold the straps in the same place, so still up on the top of the little loops there. Turn your palms up though, squeeze those straps, pull the straps up to your face. That's it. Reach your straps out in front of you. So if you can keep your elbows lifted here, that would be great. That'll add a little bit more tension onto your ropes in this half spring. And again, you'll be feeling it once you build those reps up. Remembering we're coming to some single arm stuff in a moment. That's it. Really nice job. I had a whole bunch of beginners this week at my new studio, and we did some really simple movements like this, and they really were challenged a lot. So don't ever forget what it's like for brand newbies. Like simple movements on light springs are still very challenging for them. All right, this will be your last one, Kyra. And then we're going into triceps, biceps. So you're going to be doing one little chest expansion back as you bicep curl with the other arm. That's it. Then bring your straps back out in front, flip it, and reverse to the other side. That's it. Reach forward, flip, and pull it the other way. That's it. Nice, guys, that's it. Remembering also that half spring is heavier because you're up on a box. So if you were doing this little sequence sitting on the carriage, you might want to have a little bit more load on, depending on who you've got in front of you. Looking really good, guys. You're going to do another 2 of these. Excellent. Yep.
2 more.
2 more. 2 more.
2 sets.
2 sets. That's it. Good. Well done. Now, so we're going to do those single arm movements now. So I'm going to get you to reach both of your straps straight out in front. Your ropes may go floppy here. Remember to modify if this gets too heavy, you can hold down lower on your straps. You're going to pull one elbow back, going into your bow and arrow. So you're going to twist here, Kyra. I want you to look back towards your elbow back behind you as you push this arm forward. Really stretch that out. Then reach back towards the front and reverse it to the other side. That's it. So getting that real bow and arrow pull-push sensation here is really nice, and that's how you're going to get that full twist. So work with the springs and lack of springs as well. So the arm that loses all tension, you really have to focus there to push that arm forward. That's it, looking really good. Nice work. All right, and this is our last little set we're going to do here on arms on the box. So I'm going to get you guys to just do another 2 on each side. That's it. Yeah, and you're feeling it, aren't you? It's coming. It's building. All right, finish it up. Balancing out your sides. Amazing. And then those straps can go down. I'm going to take them because they're a long way away from you. All right, guys, come on up. We're going to get the box off now. Kyra's grabbing a drink. You can grab one too. And now we want to kind of stretch out through the back and shoulders after that, don't we? Yeah. So I'm going to change the spring for Kyra up to 1 heavy. The stopper doesn't need to be out anymore because the box is gone. And she's going to be kneeling on the carriage. You guys are going to be coming up and kneeling. And we're going to be doing some nice cat-cow variations with the hands on the bar. Yeah, so come to kneel on the carriage. Now I've put it back up to 1 heavy spring because what is happening right now is we're loading up the carriage. So Kyra's body weight is on the carriage and she's pushing out with her arms. So a heavier spring is going to make the carriage feel more stable and she can really push into it a little bit further. If she was on a half spring, it could just slide out underneath her and she may go a little bit further than what she was wanting to do originally. So you're going to tuck your feet and push them up against the shoulder pads. Excellent. And then what I'm going to get you to do to start with is just to sink your bottom back to your heels and press the carriage away. Your knees can come out as wide as they want to come, just to allow for bub. That's it. And just let your head drop down and just keep pushing into the load there. How's that spring feel?
Good.
Good, great. So if you wanted to do this on a lighter spring for yourself, feel free to do that. What I'm going to get you to do now is to round your back as you pull the carriage back in. So going into a little kind of cat stretch. Now, push away again. As we go here, I'm going to get you all to start pressing back with your legs as well. So yeah, so legs go back a little bit, not all the way, so they stay underneath your hips, just to allow that stretch to drop down a little bit lower through the chest. Then pull the carriage in, rounding your back. And this is our moving cat-cow. So here's the cow. Feels quite good, nice stretchy there. Then press away with the arms and the legs, drop the chest down. That's the one that you want there, right, Kyra? Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's in heaven right now. Good, pull the carriage in. So remember, you'll be in a 4-point kneeling position, so with the knees under the hips as you press away. So don't push out to a plank position. Keep those knees underneath you. Yeah, that's it. Good. Serene, see if you can drop your chest down a little lower to the springs when you press away. Oh yeah, there it is. Good. Nice job, guys. So just rolling through that. Nice, Ingrid, that looks delicious. So good. Beautiful work, guys. And this feels good for everyone, I'm sure you can agree. But a really nice little thing to do after you're doing any sort of amount of arm work, and a nice little stretch out at the end of class as well. All right, so you're just going to do one more of these. And then once you've brought the carriage in, you're just going to settle back down again, sitting your bottom back towards your heels. Good. Press out just with the arms, let the chest come down, and I'm going to get you to take your right hand off the bar, reach underneath and grab the left arm of the foot bar. Yes. So now you're going into a twist. You can look up underneath your armpit. I want you to push with the foot bar, but pull with the arm on the bar, and that'll give you that awesome stretch around your shoulders. How's that one there, Kyra? You getting that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, good. All right, pop your hand back on the bar and then head over to the other side. That's it. So pushing the foot bar, pulling with the arm of the foot bar. And let's just do another one to each side. Good, and switch it over. It's nice to have a bunch of little stretches that you can pull out and just vary those cool downs and warm ups. So pop them down in your tool belt and then bring the carriage all the way back in again. Nicely done. Now, I'm going to get you to stay there, Kyra, and staying on the one spring. What I want you to do now is come into a little pigeon stretch here on the carriage. So you're going to bring your right knee up to the front corner of the carriage. Tuck that foot in underneath. That's it. Then you're going to shuffle your straight leg back between the shoulder pads and just wiggle on back. So hands can come onto the carriage there to help you out. That's it. Good. How's that feeling for you? Mm-hmm. So far, so good? Mm-hmm. All right. Hands can come onto the bar if you're comfortable here in this position. And then if you want more, you can push the carriage away and let your chest drop down. Good. So a really strong hip opener there. Some of you are loving that. Some of you are not in love. That's okay. All right, let's slowly take your time to switch to the other side. So use your hands to slide that back knee in. Slide the other one back. Yeah, good. And then just find that shape that works for you. So remembering with a pigeon stretch, your aim here is to get your headlights to face the same direction. And Kyra's doing a great job of that. Hips are nice and open. She's ready for that delivery. That's it. And if you popped your hands on the bar and pressed away on the other side, go ahead and do that now. So as you do the arm movement with the bar, you can pull the carriage in and do a big back bend on the way back in. So you can get some extra movement there. All right, so now what you're going to do is just slide your way out of that, take your time, and then just come off to the side of the carriage, and we're going to just stretch out those hips and hammies. So you're going to leave one foot up against the shoulder pad. One foot's on the floor, the knee can rest down on the bed, and Kyra just going to press out and do whatever feels good here. So she's getting straight into her hip there. Now we are at the end of the class, so you can hold into those stretches a little bit more if that feels good for you. Moving through it and using the reformer is a really great way to, utilize it to its best. So, it's what it does best, is getting you into these lovely stretchy shapes. So just move however it feels good. Often at the end of the class, it's a great way to give choice to your students as well. Let them know they can move quickly or slowly, feel into their own bodies and do what feels best for them today. If Kyra wants to, she can stretch out through that front leg as well if she needs a bit of a hammy stretch. If she'd rather just hang into that hip because that feels good, do that. This is your final movements. So whatever you're doing, I'm going to do another 2 of those. Take your time. That's it. And then we'll head over to the other side to finish up. Good. That's it, guys. So just feel into it, whatever you got to do here. Maybe your sides are feeling a little different, so you just want to spend a little bit more time in one position. Oh, nice, Shane. Shane's doing some nice side bends because that feels good. You could totally add in some twists here as well. You can do a little smiley face as you reach your arm back behind you and twist looking back. There's lots of ways you can vary this stretch if you'd like to. All right, and then you're just going to finish up whichever thing you're doing right now. There we go. And we're done. Kyra's workout is complete. Come on in, honey. You can take a break, take a load off. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Now, if you would like to hang in and ask some questions, ask Kyra and I questions, feel free to just come on in and unmute yourself. If you do need to head off, we'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us. So yeah, how are you feeling?
Good.
Okay.
Well worked.
Oh, good. Yeah. See, there was a good workout for her. Can you guys all hear Kyra on my mic? Great.
Don't need to. That's
not social distancing. We forget we're on the Gold Coast. Thanks, guys. Yeah, so feel free to unmute yourself if anyone wants to ask any questions. Thanks for coming, everybody.
I really loved that workout. Thanks, Belinda. It was really, really good.
Thanks, Rachel.
Yeah. And I felt challenged, and I'm not 38 weeks pregnant. So, it was surprisingly challenging. So, yeah.
And did you notice how slow it was as well? Like very slow, very simple movements. We didn't do anything crazy. So, it's good. It's good that you guys did the workout so you can feel that is still a challenge. Like you still get a challenge. And Kyra's like, I worked. That was basic.
I did just want to ask, Kyra, one question. And that's when you were down in the donkey kick, with your elbows on the box. Was there enough, like they looked like there was enough room because you're quite compact, pregnant, but was it getting close to the box when you were on your elbows and donkey kicking out?
I felt like I had plenty of room. Yeah. But then as the client, you kind of have a little bit of control, because if you don't want to come in too far, you just don't bring your knee in as far. But it does get heavy. That's the only thing I would say to keep in mind. Like anything where you kind of 4-point kneeling and you've got the bump out the front, if you get too long, your whole back starts to sag. And it's quite heavy.
Yeah, understandably.
Yeah. Which is part of the reason, remember in that sequence, we didn't just go straight to the other side. I got Kyra up so she could do something else. So just not leaving your client there for too long in any one position, which would be something to definitely keep in mind with mat work as well, because often you do 4-point kneeling in mat for longer periods. So, yeah, it's a good thing to keep in mind. Great question, Rachel. Thanks. So the load was okay. The space was okay, but the belly hanging was getting there.
Thanks, Kyra. Thanks for your time today.
Yes, thank you. I haven't even thanked you. I thanked her off camera. Yeah. Thanks for coming. Like I said, it's 7 a.m. start here. So Kyra got up. It takes about half an hour to drive to my place from her place. So she's done us a great service coming out and sharing her body with us. Any other questions, guys? Feel free to pick brain.
Linda, can I ask, hi, Kyra, thank you so much. When I was pregnant with all of my kids, I had so many problems with my pelvic floor staying together. I had very loose ligaments, and any single leg, anything, like even just hip flexion side lying in bed was so painful for me. I don't know how I would have been able to do any Pilates at all. I don't know, like, is that person just excluded from Pilates? Maybe they should just be in the pool, or is there a way to do something for that person that wouldn't like inflame the area?
It sounds quite extreme, Beth, what you're experiencing. So it would have been something you would have visited women's health physio and maybe worked with them in a one-on-one setting. Yeah. Remembering that the classes we're teaching for the Cert 4 are group fitness, so they're for healthy, able-bodied people. If you've got something a little bit more extreme going on, then it would be a different kind of scenario. So, yeah, I can't really say. I'm not really sure what was happening with you, or if you'd been active previously, it was just something that happened while you were pregnant, or...
My joints are hypermobile. So when I got the hormones that were released, the relaxin just made me even more. Like the only thing holding skin. So.
Yeah, so it may have been that you would need more of a one-on-one prenatal specific class as opposed to the type of class Kyra's been doing throughout pregnancy. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Yeah, something to consider. You'll find though, like you were very aware of that in yourself. Like you knew like, oh, I can't even do this in bed. So I'm sure you wouldn't have taken yourself off to, oh, I'll go do Pilates in front of a whole bunch of people and just see what happens, right? Like that. That wasn't.
I just stayed quite very still because I was in so much excruciating pain, and I gained 40 kilos because of it.
Yeah. Yeah. So heading off to some sort of specialist would have been, I guess, the best recourse, just to see what was going on for you and what advice that they can offer you. Yeah, with their professional opinion, remembering that we can't diagnose that type of thing either as Pilates teachers. Yeah. Thanks for your input there. Oh, yes.
Can you wear a belt while doing these exercises, or is it better to take the belt off? Like the
what's it about?
Sometimes when
the belly band.
Oh.
Yeah. Do you take that?
I haven't worn one. It was something that the midwife suggested if I felt the need, but yeah, I kind of just the way I've carried it hasn't been too heavy for me at the front at this stage. So it's probably something I'll wear pre-pregnancy, post-pregnancy, but not pre-pregnancy.
All right, thank you so much.
We didn't have these things in my day. In my day, you just went like, off you went. I'm like, what belt? What is this belt? I never had a belt.
Yeah, they like wrap around and hold it for you.
I had to do that on my own. Never mind. Thanks, Beth. Any other questions? Serene, did I see you pop your hand up before?
Yeah, I did. Thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Look, I just want to say that was a beautiful workout with two lovely ladies, and bless you for the future. And hopefully we'll see you more, because you're a fantastic example, Kyra. Look, I just want to say, even though it was mainly a prenatal course, this is actually one of my first reformers, and having it on the lightest springs for a first timer on the home reformer, it was an amazing workout. And then the funniest thing is my theoretical teacher I've got here in Brisbane, she's having triplets. So she's only in the early stages. I think she's only 8 or 9 weeks at the moment, but she's having triplets. So this is the best class for me to go back to her and go, look, you can still do all this. And she knows, because she's a teacher trainer as well. But I'm like, now I have something to conversate with her about. So thank you so much. You are both beautiful women, and bless you, sweetheart. And I want to see you more.
Thank
Well,
you.
once she gets that baby out, I have a studio asking for her.
Fantastic. Amazing. Oh,
Thanks.
bless. Thank you again. It was a really good workout for a beginner as well as postnatal, and utilising the box as well. Thank you.
Thanks, Serene. Thank you. Any other questions, guys, while you've got us? Feel free to pick. So I know some of you are already finished your course, a few of you, some of you are already sort of past all the prenatal stuff, so you may not have other questions, but we're here for another 2 minutes, I'd say, before we have to go. So if you don't have any questions, we will say farewell and thanks for joining us. Alrighty, guys, have a lovely day. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.